Anaconda Muslim, so it doesn't eat pork.
Oh,
that's the only thing I can think of as to why it wouldn't. They couldn't use it, and somehow Jon Voight knows this.
Yeah, because they don't. So when he said snakes don't kill people, then he said they don't. The snake didn't really kill him. So how did he get that scar on his face?
It attacked. He did it himself for a story. I don't know. You can't trust this guy. He's just, maybe a snake tried to kill him and he killed the snake.
Why is Danny Trejo out there by himself if they want to capture it alive? Wait, how did he get out there if that barrier wasn't blown up?
Wasn't the barrier after his boat?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
why would you blow up the barrier?
Well, do we see that it's actually an anaconda that's attacking Trejo?
I mean,
is it not Jon Voight?
Wait, but Jon Voight. So Jon Voight can turn so remember in the Deepest Bluest video where LL Cool J can turn into a shark?
How could I forget?
Do you think Jon Voight? So this is another interesting thing about this movie. Jon Voight was in the priesthood, and then he starts hunting snakes, which we know, in the Garden of Eden, that, the snake tempted Adam and Eve. So we've talked about Deep Blue Sea and then this movie with two preachers.
And how does the snake get killed in the end? Ice Cube kills it with a pickaxe. What shape is a pickaxe?
Oh,
that's a cross.
I like Ice Cube in this movie, though. He's only. Great. I love the scene where he's like, "I'm gonna throw you guys both off the boat." Like he knows what's going on. I hate the line.
I can kill you right now.
Yeah, I hate that line. He's like, "I'm going back to L.A." Like that's a stock line because he just walks back into the boat. But I liked him in this movie, man. He was. I liked J-Lo in this movie too. I liked.
Oh yeah, She's never been terrible with it. I've seen. She's been in some bad films. I would chalk this amongst them. But she's not a bad actress. She's very good in Out of Sight. I've not seen a lot of the more poorly rated things, but she's fine in the opening scene of Jersey Girl. That I recall. I never saw Gigli. So.
Selena, she's good in. Yeah, Gigli was really bad. But this movie though, right? So I was reading an interview with her that I guess is infamous because she just destroys so many different actresses like Gwyneth Paltrow and Claire Danes. Like it's pretty awesome if you read it. But she's like Anaconda pulled in $130 million and brought in a ton of young girls to a B-movie action film. They came there for me. She's like, I got offered that Fools Rush In movie, and I was like, I turned it down, and Salma Hayek took it because I wanted to do this B picture because that Fools Rush In script sucked. Like she was talking, she called this movie a B. Like she knew it was a B movie.
Yeah.
And then she was bragging that she's like, a bunch of women, young girls went and saw this movie because of me. This movie Anaconda pulled in without inflation, right? $275 million.
Holy hell. Is this the highest grossing Eric Stoltz film?
Right? That's
impressive, yeah.
I don't know, I just loved it. And it was directed by the guy who did The Specialist and Sniper, which I kind of like. Billy Zane, Tom Berenger.
See, that sounds like a cast I want to watch. I haven't seen that.
And then another guy who wrote it did Top Gun. Oh, no. Top Gun, Dick Tracy, Turner and Hooch, Anacondas.
He came back for the sequel.
Yeah. Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
Oh, dear. Have you seen the sequels?
Yeah, we call it Anacondas. I don't watch the direct-to-DVD movies, but I watched the second film, and it was bad.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I dragged a bunch of people to it. So that was not good. Wait, no, can we go back to Jon Voight?
Yes, please.
That scene where he kills Carrie Warrer and then he just dumps her in the water.
When he jumps 6 feet straight in the air with his hands tied behind a pole.
Yes.
That scene.
I think he did that stunt by himself.
I mean, I'd love it if he did.
He did.
Okay.
Can we just believe it? There's no extras on these things, so...
I can believe it if they somehow rigged the boat to drop 6 feet, and he just kind of had to hover.
So, another thing, you think that it was... as a joke, but you think it was potentially Jon Voight killing Danny? Like, I tell you what, though.
I mean, I don't see why it couldn't be. There's some reason why it doesn't make. Because it doesn't make sense for he and for Voight and Mateo to go to his boat without him, and the plot doesn't make sense unless they have to get to his boat for some reason.
Because he didn't have any weapons.
Because Mateo, the plan is just screwed. Because the whole going to Trejo's boat, Mateo dies in that scene. So if the whole point was for Voight and his guys and his the Snake Boys to go on a mission together, by the end of the time they've left Trejo's boat, he's the only one left. So maybe he led Mateo there to kill him as well. Maybe this is all some kind of there's a buried treasure out there somewhere, and he's the last one alive to claim it now. I don't know.
He did not want Mateo to die because he's like, Mateo, come on. And then Mateo went, whoa, and slipped into the water. And then the snake grabbed a hold of Mateo's head and snapped it.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
You know what I do like about this movie is that, so the guy who did the creature design also worked on Deep Blue Sea, but anacondas, so I've read up on a lot of them, and obviously an anaconda would never act like this. An anaconda could never stretch 50 feet to grab a man by the head, then reel him up in 20 feet. Oh, we still haven't talked about the waterfall scene. But these anacondas are kind of mean suckers, because I don't know if you know this, but back in the day, you probably heard it on the podcast, but I worked on a documentary about the pythons in the Everglades. So I went out in the Everglades, but there was I don't know if you've heard this on the pod, but there's a guy who was doing the training, and he was talking about how mean anacondas are. And at the same time, an anaconda had gotten kind of loose from its cage and bit him on the hand.
Yeah.
So
is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. But while he was talking about how anacondas are mean suckers, an anaconda bit him on the hand. A green anaconda. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just proving his point, isn't it?
Yeah. So I kind of love it. And I also love that at the beginning of this movie, they make a point. I had to write it down, but they're like, anacondas are amongst the most ferocious and enormous creatures on Earth. They grow up to 40 feet, and they regurgitate their prey to kill and eat again. So the opening dialogue is basically saying anacondas eat things, barf them up, and then attack other things because they think it's fun.
Yeah, basically.
Isn't that awesome?
They just kill for fun.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. I mean, it explains what happens, because otherwise it would be like the anaconda eats Mateo and everyone else is fine because it's digesting him for 4 days. So,
3 months.
So whether it's true or not, it kind of makes sense that it helps make the film work. Otherwise they'd need an anaconda per character.
It's just eating people and then barfing it and going and eating more.
Oh, I didn't need the camera inside the anaconda.
I was going to say, I needed more of that. What a great that's a cool shot.
It's a like Breaking Bad-esque shot. I didn't need it.
That's where Breaking Bad got it from.
I hope so.
Vince Gilligan? Yeah, he saw Anaconda, and he said, you know when they say, like, based on a true story or inspired by? Breaking Bad was inspired by Anaconda.
Inspired by Anaconda.
Yep. Because you think about it, these people don't have to make these choices that they make, right? And that's the same thing as Breaking Bad. And then it just ends horribly for everyone.
They could have turned around and gone to the hospital. They would have lost 2 days, but they would have saved their friends' lives. They made that choice.
Yeah, and then they were like, oh, let's just hunt down but see, Voight wouldn't have let him turn around, would he have? Why did he need him? Couldn't he?
This is the point. Why did he need them?
Couldn't he have just hey guys, I'm hunting an anaconda that if we catch it alive, it's $1 million. I will pay you this amount of money and come with, right? But I guess there's cutthroats, I guess.
Wait, you'd be like, I will pay you this amount. If you don't agree to this, then I'm gonna slowly kill you.
Yeah.
With the help of my snaky friend.
Yeah, and Mateo.
And
Danny Trejo. I gotta tell you,
assumes it's still alive.
If you're gonna kill somebody in the beginning of the movie to establish that another character is like the villain is a badass, it's awesome killing Danny Trejo.
It is. I mean, what had he been in before this?
Desperado?
He'd just done Heat.
And he was just chucking knives at people on Desperado.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
So he'd done like a bunch of Robert Rodriguez films. Basically.
Yeah. But like to kill, he just wiped out. So I kind of immediately thought to myself, this snake is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it talks. This snake talks. I've never heard a snake talk.
Voiced by Frank Welker.
Yes, there is an IMDb credit for the guy, right?
Yeah.
This snake yells. It yells at people.
Well, it looks like a puppet.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. It looks like a reject Muppet.
Well, it broke down most of the time.
Or terrible CGI.
Yeah. I mean, it's
not good.
Yeah. But
I know you're trying to be positive about these films, but the CGI here is not good.
Well, I mean, the CGI, I think we'll both admit that the CGI in this movie and Deep Blue Sea, they're not good.
No, yeah. But apparently this one, it cost $100,000 per second the snake was on screen.
I can see that, though, because this is 96, right? 97. So, like, by then...
We're like 4 or 5 years after, 4 years after Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but...
Which is a bigger budget film, but CGI comparison-wise, is just...
That's a Spielberg picture, though. That's a Spielberg height of his powers picture.
And this is a Luis Llosa picture. What's your point?
Yeah, it's true. So 97. Well, like, but see, at this time, like, I wonder, this is such an interesting thing, because you watch Jurassic Park, right? You watch Independence Day, and then you watch the other 90s movies where the CGI is not nearly as good. And you kind of wonder, pretty much. Like Event Horizon, the opening shot took a year to finish, and a guy quit the industry because of it. Yeah, the CGI is... I do love, though, when the snake goes into the waterfall, and then the guy jumps, and the snake extends 50 feet and catches his head.
That's cool.
Yeah, did you see that coming?
It's a great death. It's a fantastic death.
And I kind of liked how he turned around.
Yeah, well, I mean, but the CGI scenes with the snake, I kind of preferred it when it was a puppet. It wasn't scary at all. But there's just no weight to it. This is a giant snake. It would weigh something. It would be really heavy, but it just as deaths go, that one's fantastic.
I mean,
it's
snakes
probably the
are
best
strong.
one.
Now I have another question. Why are J-Lo and Eric Stoltz pretending that like they're not dating when they're alone?
A better question. Why is Jennifer Lopez dating Eric Stoltz?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Look at them.
But right in the beginning, they're talking like it's just the two of them, and they're role playing. Well, they're not dating. Because later on, they're like, I missed you so much. And she's
I thought that they were dating in the past. Like, they'd had a previous relationship, and he had, like, hired her for this to try and get back together. This is the thing. There's not very much character development on these characters. There's like, real hard and fast setup of, like, these two kind of romantically involved. Gary and Carrie were kind of romantically involved a little bit, which their relationship progresses lightning speed.
Yeah.
Whilst they're on this thing. And, like, Ice Cube is friends with J-Lo, and Jonathan Hyde is British and pompous. Go. That's it. That's all you get for everyone. And Jon Voight has this accent and these eyes and this mouth. That's it. And this hair, this greasy pony. That's kind of the only character development you get for all of them. And there's not a lot. This film is a short film. It's under 90 minutes, including credits. And I feel like they could have added another 10 minutes somewhere of just a bit more backstory, a bit more colour to these characters, a bit more anything, just something, just like the script's really light on comedy as well, just like something to be more memorable character-wise. Because you've got a few decent snake deaths, but other than Jon Voight, this is why he stands out so much, because everyone else around him is just really bland. They're just kind of a plain character.
Yeah, Gary, his heel turn is very quick, and there's no character. He's just a lazy sound guy.
Just a lazy sound guy. Just wants he's in the jungle, so he's horny. Okay,
yeah. We got to find out, right?
What if the jungle makes you really horny? Is that your next data post?
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck with that. I
gotta analyze jungle movies and see what happens.
You start with the African Queen and work from there.
Oh my gosh, bogey on a boat.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. But I don't know about Gary. I don't get his turn. Do you get his turn? I keep going back to this.
I don't like it. No. I don't like it. It felt it's a plot turn rather than like a realistic one. It's just, because Voight offers him, it's like, if you sell this snake, you get $1 million. Who from? Where? How? What? Why? And then Owen Wilson, Gary has this speech to everyone else, like, we don't know what we're doing here. No one knows what we're doing here. We can try and salvage something with this guy with the snake. And having just watched Deep Blue Sea, talking to you about it, that whole speech, I was expecting him to be killed. Just because it really felt like the Sam Jackson speech from Deep Blue Sea. It's just like, you think water's fast? You should see snakes. And a snake comes out and grabs him in the face, pulls him off.
I do like, he's like, we don't know shit about shit out here.
Yeah, and neither do I.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been sweet if he got. Oh man, yeah. But I do like when he's swimming away with Gary and you can see Gary's face.
Oh yeah, with the Han Solo and carbonite kind of thing. Just impressions through the snake skin.
And that snake can squeeze a jaguar's eyeball out of its head.
But it can't squeeze the features off of Owen Wilson's face. They stay on there as it passes through his abdomen.
I love this movie. Hey, let's take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and we'll talk more about how I love this movie so much. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks, and we got to talk about the monkey being barfed onto Mr. Jonathan.
Yes, we do.
I mean, that's amazing, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the only film that I've seen where a snake vomits a monkey onto Jonathan Hyde, onto Mr. Ismay from Titanic.
Onto Warren.
Yes, onto Warren Westbridge?
Yeah, and if you ever did a drinking game, just take a shot every time Jon Voight says Westridge.
Well, this is one of those films where you take a drink anytime somebody says a name. It's like that's the West Wing drinking game is you drink anytime somebody says a name, a place, like a rank. Sorry. Or anytime somebody walks through a doorway. And it's impossible to make it one episode, I think.
Oh, I like that. Gary gets said about 15 times in this film.
Yeah. Where's Gary? Gary, where are you? Gary, come back, Gary. Gary's dead. Oh, no one liked Gary. It's fine.
Yeah, and then everyone just sort of forgets about Gary.
But apparently, Carrie Worth's character is called Denise. I never heard anybody say Denise the entire film. In my notes, she is woman.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't know anything else about her other than, like, production manager.
Salad lady. She's the She's the one who brings salad. I don't get it. I didn't have any salad when I was out.
You gotta have a salad lady. You're out on the Amazon. You gotta get your vitamins.